I mean, in this case, it's very specific in the sense that Qualcomm was more about chip design. ARM is specifically interested in the IP related to the instruction set business that Intel has. Remember, Intel has got a lot of assets within the company, which is, patented. It's IP that's very desirable. That's been the basis of their moat for the last 40 years. And ARM is a competitor to Intel's x86 architecture, but at the same time, ARM wants to expand into other adjacencies. And that's where, they are looking probably to buy some of that IP or patents from Intel. I mean, we don't know the details. That's just a speculation, but I can't imagine ARM getting into, chip design or foundry manufacturing. That's just way out of what they're doing right now. So the natural extension of their business would be to buy some of the IP from Intel.
I mean, the company's got quite a few suitors. We're seeing shares down as much as 52% year to date. What do you think would really be a positive outcome for the stock? What are analysts saying the route that they should be taking?
I mean, everyone looks at Intel based on the sum of the parts basis, and clearly the current market cap of Intel doesn't justify, all the assets and the IP that is within the company. At the same time, they're bleeding money when it comes to the foundry side of the business, losing almost $7 to $8 billion a year. They're investing a lot in capex, subsidized by the U.S. government. But the turnaround clearly hasn't played out, and that's where the bigger you are, the harder it is to turn around the ship. But at the same time, one could argue, that x86 business will rebound if this AI super cycle has to play out because they still have that dominant 80% share when it comes to the PC market. And if everyone is upgrading their PCs, guess what? It will be an Intel PC. It's not as if they are losing market share on that PC side. So that's the hope when it comes to the Intel turnaround.
So do we know when the PC market, the consumer market, is going to start turning around? Like it feels like the trough is in, but how long that looks and what that looks like?
I mean, we just have to watch for data points. In fact, Micron this week gave us one data point. They called out AI PC being, rebounding and 2025 being a better year than the past couple of years. So clearly that inventory correction has happened and we have seen a trough. And now it's a question of how fast does the units recover. And I think that's where Intel will see a nice rebound on that client PC side. On the server side, I mean, clearly there is no fix right now. They are losing share to NVIDIA and AMD, and that's unlikely to change in the near term.
Hey, Mandeep, with about a minute on the clock, I'm curious, what will investors really be looking for from earnings? What's the most important thing here?
Well, I think they're looking for a plan. So Amazon, tying up with Intel to use their foundry side for chip manufacturing, that's a positive sign. The question is the scale at which Amazon is going to look to use Intel versus TSMC that they're using right now. So that foundry business is where Intel is bleeding money. Hyperscalers partnering with Intel on that side is great news. And I think that's where you want, more positive news in terms of Microsoft and other hyperscalers really ramping up on Intel Foundry.